We have more access to lectures, reminders, and online communities than any generation in history. Yet, despite being surrounded by this sea of digital faith, so many of us are walking around with a quiet, hollow emptiness inside. This isn't about those who have walked away entirely. We still pray our 5 daily prayers, we fast, we try our best to be decent people. But there is a distinct, undeniable distance between our foreheads on the prayer mat and the actual state of our hearts. The culprit here rarely looks like a major, obvious sin. Instead, the drift is caused by 5 quiet, almost invisible habits built into our daily digital lives. This diagram illustrates the core problem, an illusion of engagement. We let the growing demand for digital expression slowly swallow our capacity for genuine, private devotion. Our devices mimic the feeling of practicing faith, while quietly starving the real thing. Our connection to Allah doesn't usually snap in a single explosive moment of disobedience. It slowly fades, eroded by the exact same screens we use to share our favorite Quran recitations. Consider the first habit, the instant check. We say our final salam to end our prayer, and before the dhikr even leaves our lips, muscle memory takes over. Our hand reflexively reaches into our pocket to illuminate the screen. We treat the prayer like a task we can simply check off a list to signal completion. In reality, we are abruptly hanging up on a direct conversation with the divine just to clear a lock screen. That immediate shift in focus wipes out the hard-earned tranquility of worship, trading ultimate peace for a hollow 2-second dopamine hit. Next is the curated character. We share perfectly timed reminders and maintain a flawless online persona, ignoring the dark, messy reality behind the camera. A person can be celebrated as a pillar of wisdom on their timeline, yet be completely harsh, impatient, and unforgiving to their own parents and spouses off-screen. Building a spiritual identity this way is a severe structural flaw. You are constructing a foundation entirely out of public perception, leaving the actual private reality to rot. When instant feedback and public posturing become the goal, genuine spiritual integrity disappears. What remains is nothing more than a fragile, hollow digital facade. This leads us right into the third habit, doom scrolling. We surrender countless hours of our days to an endless, fast-paced stream of worldly content. Yet after easily absorbing all of that volume, we find it excruciating to sit quietly and read the Quran for even 10 short minutes. Even when we do consume religious content, we fall into the fourth habit, shortcut running. We scroll through fragmented 30-second clips of scholars and speakers, swiping from one heavy theological topic to the next. Looking at this diagram, you can see how accumulating these rapid-fire microclips tricks the brain. The data pours in, but because it moves too fast for actual reflection, it simply spills out as waste, leaving the illusion that we're achieving deep religious scholarship. Raw information has no spiritual value until processed. You must stop and reflect for data to become wisdom. Without that critical step, the reflection filter blocks everything out. Acquiring vocabulary without action doesn't build piety, it just fills up the gauge of our own ego. By constantly saturating our minds with this fragmented digital noise, we consume all our cognitive bandwidth. We leave absolutely no capacity for the quiet light of Allah's word to take root. Finally, there is the hunger for digital validation. We have allowed likes, views, and comments to become the definitive metrics by which we measure our own worth and the value of our deeds. We convince ourselves we are making a broad impact, but with every tap of the screen, our sincerity is quietly misdirected. We start performing our faith to secure the approval of a scrolling digital crowd, completely forgetting the Creator. When you optimize your religious expression to satisfy an algorithm, you strip away the only metric that holds any actual weight on the day of judgment, the absolute, hidden sincerity of your heart. Individually, these 5 habits are quiet. They don't announce themselves as sins. But stacked together, they successfully replace the complex, rewarding reality of true faith with a clean, easy, and entirely hollow digital mirage. The antidote is not a massive, overwhelming life overhaul. It is a simple act of subtraction. You just have to start silencing the noise. Here is the challenge. Dedicate just 5 minutes today to intentional, completely unplugged silence. No screens, no notifications, no background audio. Just 5 minutes alone with your Creator. Because true spiritual value is anchored in internal sincerity, not external metrics. If this reminder reached you today, consider it your invitation to log off, look inward, and finally reconnect.